Gentlemen, it's all going well, and thank you very much for letting me on. And I'm very excited to be moderating this incredible
We
panel.
are starting about a minute early, and I'll tell you why, because we've got so many. This is the panel everybody has been waiting for. This is the most talked about panel at Mainframe Comic Con. We have so many Justice League guests that I'm starting a little bit early because I have to jump out because we've filled the backstage area. That's why. So, John, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to you to introduce what is for sure going to be the most talked about, the most retweeted panel of Mainframe Comic-Con. So, John, have at it, man. I will see you later on in another hall.
All right, Chuck, thanks very much. I'm looking forward to your panels this weekend as well. Welcome, everybody. It's John Suntress here from the Word Balloon Podcast, and we have a great group here. The original super team themselves, the Seven, are all here, and their ringleader as well. I will introduce them individually. First, the tragic heroine who almost betrayed the Justice League, Hawk Girl herself, Maria Canales-Barrera. I got to bring her in. Oh, excuse me. I guess I'm bringing you in, Maria. Hold on. There we go.
Oops. How are you, John?
There you are. Good to see you. Absolutely. It's good to see you. Great hair, Maria. Very, very nice. Well done.
It's insane.
You wear it well. Next, her sometimes lover, the Green Lantern, John Stewart himself, Phil Lamar, ladies and gentlemen. Again, am I bringing everybody in?
Host,
I guess I am. Here we go. There's Phil. There you go. I didn't know they everyone else got a producer. I guess I'm a one-man band.
Well, there's seven of us, so there's really no
great
room
to see you, Phil.
Else.
Yeah, I'm like Snapper Carr to your Justice League. I understand, man. Moving on. The hero we need now more than ever. Superman himself.
Bring it.
It's George Newbern, everybody.
How you doing? Good to say hi.
There you go. Secretly disguised as Clark Kent, so none of us
I need this for my eyesight. This is real. Yeah.
It's all good, man. Next, it's the animated Amazon herself, and I got to find her here on the list because there's so many people here. There she is, Susan Eisenberg, everybody. Wonder Woman herself. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, pal. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay.
You're a little distant, but you sound good otherwise. All right,
I've always
next.
found that to be the case.
Well, I'm a little distant. What can I say?
Next up, it's the heart of the team and the fastest man alive. It's the Flash, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Rosenblum.
Whenever I'm alone,
Nice.
Justice League,
Nice.
hang on. They make me feel like I am fast again.
Nice. Nice.
Hi guys.
Next, it's simply the Dark Knight himself, Batman, Kevin Conroy, everybody.
Am I
Yep,
blue?
Here we go.
This is how we're starting. This is how we're starting.
Am I blue? Just for you, Susan. Just for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
you.
All right. We gotta wait. I'll introduce him afterwards. But while we're waiting for him, unless he's back right now, there he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last survivor of Mars himself, John Jones, Carl Lumley, everybody.
Hey,
Carl.
Carl. Come on, bring it, Carl. Where are you?
Not Carl. Unfreeze. Unfreeze.
Exactly. Carl's in suspended animation. There we go.
There we go.
There he is. There he is.
I'm frozen.
A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit. All right,
Yes, no.
a little bit, Carl. This may be a challenge then for our ringleader, the John Williams to this orchestra, who will lead this group in a fantastic table read. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Andrea Romano.
Kevin, darling, your hair looks almost as beautiful as Maria's.
Isn't this amazing?
Almost beautiful.
This is what 6 months of no haircuts looks like.
It's just great.
Wow.
It looks
Getting
good.
Andrea.
I'm so happy to see you all, you darlings.
I'm so
all.
happy to see
Thank
you.
Thank you
Great
for
seeing you.
finding this time together, and you all look fantastic. And John, thank you. And of
stop
course,
it.
we have to all thank Susan, because Susan
Yes.
is the agent for the Justice League. The Justice League itself has its own agent, and
Yes,
it
she
is
put
all this
Susan
together.
Eisenberg.
Thank you.
Thank you,
No
darling.
question.
Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome.
We love
You're
it.
welcome.
It's like the mom
Thank
that
you,
brings the
Susan.
family together.
It's only fitting that Woman leads you into battle, so I think that's good.
It works well. It works well.
Now we're
And Carl,
missing one
There's Carl.
person.
Oh,
We're missing
Carl.
Clancy, unfortunately. Lex Luthor.
is he not coming?
I don't know. I didn't see any emails. Let me check my email right
There's
now.
only one Lex Luthor. Let's be honest.
It's true. Well, for the Justice League.
I'm
Anyway.
kidding. I'm
But
kidding. I
no,
According to
what do we
JL
know,
Wikipedia,
John?
there's 7.
Thank you.
There's a
Thank you
lot.
for that.
There's a lot.
John, do you have access to Clancy? Do we know? Because
I can email him again and see what's going on. But yeah, unfortunately, I will do that
Anybody got
while you.
a
You know
phone
what? Let
number
me
on Clancy?
I do. Let me
Oh,
text him
yeah?
and
That'll
just
be
see.
excellent. Let's
and
find
just
out, and we'll
see-
chat amongst ourselves while we wait for that.
You chat
Yes,
amongst
here we go.
yourselves.
I will. Is everybody in Los Angeles? I know, John, you're in Chicago. Everybody else, are you in LA?
Yeah, I'm in
I am.
LA.
Los
Yes,
Angeles.
Yes.
Kevin?
It's hot. It's
And
hot.
Jeez.
Is it?
in LA, Andrea?
I am.
Okay.
We're in LA. Yep. Because we can't travel now. It's just.
I'm in
it doesn't make any
Andrea's
sense to travel.
guest room. I'm in Andrea's guest room.
George, where are you? George? George.
I'm
Oh,
in-
George
I'm
is
in Los-
frozen. You in LA?
In Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know if you were using the place up north or not.
Can-
Do you still use the place up
George?
north?
George is gone.
Yeah, he uses it. He does.
You mean the
Yes,
Fortress of
okay.
Solitude?
That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Andrea's frozen. You know, this could be
Am I
just
frozen?
this could be a crazy episode where each member starts disappearing, freezing. We just go.
Yeah, believe me, I'm going to be watching.
Go with it.
So
I
don't
hear ya.
worry. George popped out for a second. Clancy will be joining us momentarily.
Oh, great.
Then
We're at full capacity. Apparently, I thought it could handle 10, but
That's
maybe
what it
not.
How many
said.
people are
No, it
watching us,
says
John?
Wow. Something I don't have the full because of course it's at mainframecomiccon.com, the website. But I do know we have over 1,000 combined with Facebook and the various YouTube channels right now. So we're
Wow.
doing good.
Well,
Wow.
hi, everybody. We're very happy to be here. We're excited. We hope this works out. We're doing the best we can.
Indeed.
Yay. Hey, and wait, you guys, am I correct that the last time we were all together and did this kind of thing was 2017 in Denver?
Correct.
Yes.
How about
That was
you
everyone
guys?
except Carl.
Carl wasn't in Denver.
Right. That's true. Carl wasn't there. Carl has
And
this
then we-
fabulous glow of light over him. Do you guys have the same
Right.
thing over Carl? It's
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
heavenly light over you, Carl.
Yes.
And
But
frozen.
he's also frozen.
I know, but it's beautiful light.
But he looks good.
He looks really good. Carl,
I wonder
can you
what we
speak to us?
do. I wonder what we do when we're talking and then all of a sudden someone freezes and we don't know the line
I know.
because we don't hear
Oh,
it.
Yeah,
no.
Carl's in frozen is in suspended animation again. Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
if you hear us, leave the conversation and come back in. That sometimes helps.
Susan, are you able to text Clancy? Because again,
Yes.
we were at, if you could text him
He
and
said
just
he-
ask him to try and sign in again because I think we were, like I said, we were at capacity. In fact, if it's easier, when Clancy comes in, I will pop out during the table read. Hopefully, if that'll make things a little smoother. I'm not sure, but yeah,
Can you still monitor?
oh yeah, I'll be producing.
Okay.
I'll be backstage, and I can certainly hear
Okay.
you guys.
Okay.
So if that's easier, I'm happy
So
to do
he
that.
said he's trying. So I asked him to do it again.
Yeah.
Sign on again if he
Okay.
can.
Okay, and Carl is once again joining us. Hopefully.
Okay.
Maria,
Yeah.
try not to drink too much.
Yeah, because the rest of them,
Right? And we've got you for about 70 minutes, kid. So
Thank you.
no breaks.
Good to know.
Oh,
By
poor
the
Carl.
time we finally get to record, it's going to be a great record.
It's going to be so
It's a
good.
good
It's
thing.
so
All
good.
All right, I'm
Good.
back. You see me?
Okay, I see
Yeah.
Carl
There you
trying
go.
to get in. I see Carl
Okay,
in
there we
two
go.
different frames trying
Yeah,
to get
I'm
in.
gonna.
Michael's gone. You know, this
I'm
is
here.
a great,
That.
you guys, it's a great
Okay.
rehearsal. So we'll all
I'm
be
here.
ready when we start.
Okay, Michael.
Oh wait, we have
Okay,
started.
that's George. George is back.
Yep.
I
So we're
see
just
Carl
waiting right now for
Clancy.
Clancy, the Kurgan.
Did everybody get the script? Everybody has the script
Yes,
close by?
except for
Yes. I have.
Except for
this.
Kevin.
Kevin about 5 minutes ago texted all of us and said, "Oh gosh, the script." And I'm like, and then he's like, "Just kidding."
Oh, he
How do I
remembers
make
all
it
his
bigger?
lines.
That's
How do I
right.
make the
Phil.
screen bigger?
How do you make the screen bigger?
Yeah.
You
How do I
look
fill it up?
perfect on it.
I don't know. I was told there'd be no methane. Oh, poor Carl, man.
Oh.
I'm telling you, the transmat beam from Mars is not working well, unfortunately.
It's not fair too because he's good to be with us. He doesn't always do these.
Oh my God, I know.
I
It's
don't want to lose him. I know we're lucky to get
Sure,
him.
and
lucky.
I got to ask him about the Mantis. Truly, that is my burning question that I must ask you about his early '90s superhero show.
Neat. It's about 104 in my backyard right now. How are you guys all doing?
It's so hot.
It's so hot. It's
And
crazy.
humid, so it's bizarre
humid.
because it's
Yeah.
It's 69 degrees in my office. So
Oh,
There you
man,
go.
That's chilly.
Why aren't we all in Michael's office?
yeah, I like it.
It wouldn't be that cool anymore.
Flash Andrea's basement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can tell how much I love you because I decided to put on a long sleeve shirt in this
Wow.
heat.
Yeah,
There we
no,
go.
Carl,
You don't wanna show off the guns.
frozen again.
Carl, we see
Oh, no.
you, but
But he's
frozen.
muted, so maybe we could hear
Oh,
him.
he's smiling.
I know.
That's a
He's
good sign.
smiling.
Hey,
Unmute-
Carl, if you can hear us,
your
unmute
microphone.
yourself.
Oh, here, and I can see if I
You
can
can-
help him with that as
Yeah,
well.
I'm gonna
you can do that,
See if
John.
he can
Absolutely,
see
I
this.
will try.
He's frozen, but if we could
check
hear him, at
left.
least and see his beautiful smile, we could be halfway
So
there.
Carl,
Oh, Carl, you have muted yourself on your end. I am not able to unmute you. I need a permit from the doctor to be able to mute you and unmute you.
So
uh,
what
Let's
does he
see.
have to do?
Did it work?
there should be a little button on the bottom left of his
Yeah.
screen with a microphone that lets him unmute.
Yep.
But he doesn't
Okay, wait.
seem like
He's coming
What?
back again. Hold on 1 second.
What a
Holding.
trooper.
He's going to try again.
What a trooper.
All right.
You know what was
I'll
weird?
never
did
get him.
that.
We'll never get him again, you guys.
I know. I know. I feel so bad.
know.
All right, Carl. How we doing?
Oh, look, I see his name and no
Yes.
microphone.
Yes,
There he
I
is.
There he
just
is.
heard me.
Just heard
We
it.
hear you.
Carl,
We hear you, baby.
Carl,
Oh, my
I would
goodness.
move to a
And are you
different
hearing
place.
Yeah, move
Oh,
to
my
a different.
word.
Can you get a better
That place does not
internet
work.
signal?
Yeah, that location's not good.
Yeah, Carl, maybe you can go to
Well,
Andrea's
Are you on
other
the
guest
desktop?
We
room.
can hear him now.
Carl is
Yeah.
always so hard to get.
you know, this is a
What?
challenge.
Hey,
during,
Hey, there's Lex.
The
I
hell
can't
is
just go
happening?
anywhere.
Oh my God.
Nancy Brown.
Look at that. Santa Claus.
That's here.
What a
That took a
Santa's
while.
here.
what a great beard.
Thank you.
How you doing, buddy?
Gosh.
It took
Clancy.
too damn long for me to get in here, I'll tell you.
Well,
Oh,
last time
did we all
Clancy-
disappear for a minute there? Clancy! Yay!
There you are, Andrea.
Okay, we
All right,
got
so-
Clancy. How
so
you,
who are we
darling,
missing?
darling? Just Carl.
We're missing Carl again. Oh man.
Yep.
Well,
But I have a feeling he went to move in his place, in his house.
Okay.
To
He
a
may be on
different
a
location.
desktop computer, and that might be more of a challenge.
And he may
then.
just be too far away from his wife, from his
yeah, from
router.
his right. Oh, I love it when you talk like that, Susan.
Well,
Clancy, you're a real man. You're a real man with a real beard. Look at
Does he
you.
look fantastic?
I'm growing it. I'm growing it.
I like
I-
it, man.
I
Just
do too.
letting it go. What else do
What
I
is
have
that?
to do?
It's my iPad with my script on it.
Smart.
Oh, I see. I see.
Right up in there. I got my script right there, and I got you right there.
All right.
you go.
So we
George?
just
Hi, Clancy Brown.
I was listening to you as I
Yeah?
was driving down the coast with my son on
Oh, yeah?
this book on tape called The
Oh, was
British
it?
Are Coming.
Oh, it's yeah, it's a long one. That must have been a long
That's
trip.
a long one.
Yeah, it's a long one. Well, I hope I
Total
didn't bore you to death.
respect, my man. Total
Oh.
respect.
How often do you zone out and
Thank
then
you.
rewind?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, completely,
yeah.
completely. Oh, well,
All right,
All
now-
the words.
Still waiting for Carl, unfortunately.
Well,
Okay,
John,
he's
great
gotta-
to be here. Thanks for having us.
yes,
Exactly.
we're so
Been a
happy to
great
be
time.
here.
Guys, honestly, longtime fan and
It was a joke,
watcher.
Andrea.
And
See you later.
I,
Thanks. That was fun.
was that it, Michael? Okay, Michael's leaving us. All right,
Mike, that's a wrap for Michael.
I know you
Michael.
have to leave too, Michael, don't you?
Yeah, Michael
You
has
have
to
a-
leave.
Yeah, but you
have a
know,
hard
let's
out.
get Carl in here and we can
Yeah.
get to
Absolutely,
He's got
buddy.
some
No,
of the
that's
first
what I'm just.
lines with you, so I'm just waiting on him.
hopefully
We'll do it.
Oh, that's right. Because it's in the monitor room. Absolutely, I read the lines. Absolutely.
See. So
Maria, you look
I'll start us
marvelous.
off by telling us what we're doing. You guys might recognize these scripts, but what I did was I took the last 3 scripts of that season of Justice League Unlimited and just pulled some scenes that allowed for all of you to have some words to say. Maria, I gave you the reporter because Shaira is being kind of tight-lipped in this part of the story. But it's 3 shows. It's Flashpoint, Divided We Fall, and Panic in the Sky. Those are the 3 episodes that I just pulled dialogue from, just to give everybody a chance to say some words and and not too much fighting stuff because I didn't think the fans wanted to hear too many.
Hey, Andrea. I mean, you're the best director. You're the best director in history. But I just thought maybe an idea would be as if, like, all of a sudden I'm speaking, but you guys can't hear me because something happened. Say, Michael, we couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that line? I think that's probably. Otherwise, we could do half a script with people frozen and we don't know what the hell's going on.
Are you asking me just to check in every once in a while to make sure things are done twice?
Well, no. Like in other words, if like Clancy's saying a line and then nobody heard it, but he read it, he doesn't know it. You might have to jump in and say, "Hey, Clancy, read that part again."
I can do that.
It's going to keep happening. I have a feeling.
Look,
Here comes Carl.
Here comes Carl.
Carl Lumley.
Carl Lumley.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Well,
Yes.
Your face is frozen,
you
but
hear
your
me?
mouth is.
And I stopped.
Carl, do you have?
But we can't hear you though, Carl.
To another
We can hear
place.
No. So this is the Buckaroo Banzai.
We'll try one more place. And
Right.
And now I'm going to move into other rooms. I will
Okay,
not
buddy.
give up this fight.
You're a good man. We're rooting for you, Carl.
I will not
Absolutely.
give up this fight.
Are
And
you just
people
get
are-
connected and move? Is that your plan, Carl? to
People
stay
are
connected
listening
and-
right now, John. So they're seeing all these technical difficulties. So that's
Sorry,
that's
So,
show
yes.
business. That's what
Absolutely.
happens.
Well,
So-
but the thing is, we don't all have to keep talking about it.
Right.
Well, I mean, otherwise it's like, what are we? They're going to be like, what are they doing? Are they going to do something? Otherwise, we're just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, I was gonna
We're going to
suggest
do
that
stuff.
while
I
we were
see-
waiting for Carl, either start with a like as opposed to the first scene, maybe move. Is that possible, Andrea? Or
No,
or I-
no.
Okay.
It's consecutive. It's in sequence. No, of
It's
course
all
not.
good, buddy. Then I will ask questions around the horn that I intended to.
We could just start talking about our
Go ahead.
experiences on the show.
He's got questions
you know?
for us.
We could.
He's already got.
Yeah.
You could
Questions.
comment on my performance as much.
Well,
What did
Kevin
you
got
think
about-
of me?
So they can't see us yet. Is that correct?
Yes, they can.
So Kevin,
They
so
can.
Kevin's got a point. Maybe the questions you're going to ask us after, ask us now while we're getting this all ready.
Yeah,
And then we'll
yeah.
read.
Go for it. Go for
Okay.
it.
Let's
John.
go around the horn.
Great.
Yeah.
So what did you think of me?
Start.
Good Lord, Kevin, you started it all with the animated series. You did.
I did actually.
First
I
one
take
you-
credit. I take total credit.
Well, obviously, the success of the animated series begat all these other shows,
You can.
and it was
So
so
Kevin, how
exciting.
many times did you pass on the role of Batman before you finally agreed
They came to me
Begging.
over and over and
Begging.
over, and I said no, no, no. And they
I've
came
got a
back and they
recurring on
begged
China
me,
Beach.
and they threw more money at me, and I said no. So they brought another bag of money, and I said no. And then they said, "Well, Andrea Romano's going to direct it," and I said, "Oh, I'll be right there."
And he has your bags of
No.
money.
I'm
see
just
comments.
kidding. I'm just
We know
kidding.
you're kidding.
I
I'm
see
just-
comments from YouTube.
Yeah, but I want to make sure the
Oh, yes.
audience knows I'm kidding.
Yeah, which is great.
Did
So
any
they
of you
gave-
appear on the animated series on Batman or the other series before
Yes, Kevin is
getting
kidding.
together for Justice League?
No,
Michael did?
Clancy?
I did.
Michael did?
Michael, who'd you play on the animated series?
Michael did.
Yeah, I was. Didn't I play like Scarecrow and
Yep.
Deadshot?
so,
He
yeah.
came in for a couple of
Deadshot, a bunch of characters. Yeah,
That's right.
it was a lot of fun.
That's right.
That's sort of how the Flash came about, right? Because then
No,
wrong.
I think you just, I auditioned, actually, you came in, this is the weirdest thing, how I came to get to know Michael Rosenbaum. An actor canceled on me the morning of the session, and the agent called me and said, this actor is canceling, but I got somebody for you who is so wonderful and so good. You're going to be crazy about him for the rest of your career. Michael Rosenbaum, I can get him there in time for the session. Michael showed up, and I hired him 20 times
Good.
after that, including as the Flash, which is a recurring role.
That's great.
But
That
it was
is true,
awesome.
and that's luck. Because if I didn't come that day and those, that just happened, then I don't know what would have happened.
I don't know when I would have met you.
I mean, I'm
I know.
lucky. So thank you,
So-
Andrea.
That was an amazing
So
thing
Michael
about
came in-
that was an amazing thing about doing this show was Andrea, was the cast that
Yeah.
you put together.
You-
Yes, it was.
All across the board, the guests, the principals, everybody. It was just there wasn't a weak link in any of the shows that you did. You
very
really
Hamill. I
went
thought Mark
for
Hamill
the-
was a weak link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill
A
was.
slug.
Yeah.
A slug.
What a hack.
You know, I was very lucky that after Batman the Animated Series, and when I started to get a name for myself, and the show certainly had a name for itself, a lot of agents called me up and said, people want to come and play with you, Andrea, and they want to be a part of the DC universe. And so I had this massive wish list that I compiled and that agents sent to me saying, these 15 clients of mine want to come and work with you, celebrity-wise or just fabulous voiceover actors. And we had remarkable people come in and play with us.
Yeah.
Only 1 or 2 times ever did I have to replace someone. And that always breaks my heart. I'll keep them after school and beat them up and beat them up and beat them up until I get
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
that we're both happy with.
Yeah.
And and there was only once or twice, and one of them, I think Kevin, you might have mentioned this not long ago in an interview because somebody brought it up to me.
When she,
Was the
can you
one
guys
where
not
we
hear
were
her
trying
either?
to get? You can't hear me,
I can hear.
I can hear.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear.
Michael. You can't hear me, Michael.
Because I'm not hearing much. Like I'll hear. Like Andrea's frozen for me.
Oh,
Really?
That's
No,
on your end, baby.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's you, Mike.
I might have problems. Then I'm trying. I don't know what happened, but Andrea, you went out. You came
Am I
back.
back?
Now you're
Conroy.
frozen.
Conroy was.
Now
frozen.
you're frozen to us.
Yeah, Michael's frozen.
Hmm.
Yeah, Michael's frozen.
Well, we
With
can
his
hear you,
hands like
Michael.
this.
But as long as we can hear you, I think we're good.
You can hear
You
me?
too.
Yes,
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear
Okay,
you.
great,
We can.
great,
We can.
great.
I'm hoping
We like
Carl will
Michael.
come back and we can.
I know.
Try and do the
if we
read.
could just get Carl's audio, we could make the read happen.
I hear you, buddy. Yeah.
Good. Meanwhile, if
You know,
Jonathan wants to
Andrea-
ask another question. What?
Andre, Hank Azaria, when I first started doing the series, he said, "Oh my God, I love that show. I want to get on that show. Can you get?" And he was in the middle of The Simpsons. I'm
No.
like, "Yeah, I said, Hank, I think they'd probably have you on." And I talked to him a month later. Said, "Yeah, no one would call him back. He wanted to be on the
They
Justice
never
League."
reached out to me. They never reached
I'm gonna
out
tell
to
you,
me.
he said, "God, I wanted to be on that show so bad."
I would have had him in
Maybe he was
something.
lying.
Nobody ever told
might
me.
have been
Nobody
lying.
ever reached out to me
Yeah.
personally.
Oh, we lost
Yeah.
Rosie for a second now.
Oh, maybe he clicked off and started again.
Yes.
Is everybody healthy and well and everybody getting through this all okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all
Yes.
good.
Good.
I go for a 3-mile walk every morning.
Hey, I wanted to ask you how long that takes you, Kevin.
Huh?
How long does it 3 miles take you to do?
A little under an hour, like
Okay.
50 minutes.
Because I do about 2.5 miles in 40 minutes.
Yeah,
But
that's
this
about
morning
right.
was so bloody hot, I couldn't bear it.
Mikey's
I mean,
back.
I
There he
really
is.
thought,
Unbelievable.
Hi, Michael.
Okay.
Michael's back.
But you got to do
Where's
that
Michael?
stuff.
Carl.
You know,
It's
you've
the
got to
best.
get out and do that, you know?
It makes the difference. And Michael said he's been walking his dog, so he's getting outside and walking.
A lot of
around.
people in my neighborhood are doing that, actually, in the
Yeah.
mornings early.
It's-
And everyone's
it's-
very respectful. You know, everybody
Good.
wears masks.
Good.
Everyone walks around you, you know.
Yes, that's great. That's great. You gotta.
So I
Gotcha.
feel
No.
like we should do
What?
something.
Well, yeah, forgive me, guys. I'd be happy to ask questions,
John,
but
ask questions.
Great.
Ask questions.
Do
Let's
it.
try to get Carl back in.
okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Maria, I wanted to tell you I really enjoy your on-screen work as well as your voiceover work, and I really think it's interesting, especially in these times. It's been a couple of years since you made Larry Crown, but I think that movie speaks to a lot more people now than maybe when it was originally released.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, it sure does, huh?
Yeah.
How do we
How
start?
was that experience doing that movie? I don't know if she
Cut
could
out
hear it.
Ron.
How was that experience doing that movie?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was really great. I mean, Tom Hanks and
Well,
Julia
Nothing
Roberts.
else. Everybody's enjoying our.
It was really cool. And I
Yeah.
remember Tim Allen
I heard
visited
of
the
him.
set. It was cool to see the Toy Story guys. I took a picture with them. It was really great.
That's fantastic, George. Forgive me, I don't have the name
Yes.
of the game in front of me, but I know you're a big veteran of a very popular online game, and you've been doing it for several years.
Yeah. Besides Justice League, I've been doing Sephiroth in Final Fantasy. It's been about 15 years. That's been fun.
Wow.
And yeah. And then I just have an adult chat room. So that's the third thing I do.
It's really good.
Well, that's where the money
For a
is.
second, the
It's
rest of
pretty
them
good.
believed you.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. No, I don't.
Yes,
I
Listen, it's up to me what I do. It's up to me how far I take it. And I don't take it very far.
Clancy.
I don't take it very far.
And Clancy, honestly, from the Kurgan and Highlander to your turn as Lex Luthor, which I really think, much like this entire cast, you really made your own. No disrespect, Michael, because you're a fine Luthor as well. But also, God, I really loved you on Sleepy Hollow. I thought that was a really cool turn and great work.
Well, thanks. That was a complete lark. I just worked with those guys on Cowboys and Aliens, and they called me up, and they were shooting in North Carolina, and I happened to be in North Carolina visiting colleges with my daughter. So I said, yeah, I'll come on over and do that. So I bopped over and did it, and they said, well, we'll have you back. I went, well, okay, whatever. And
yeah, because you die in that first episode.
Yeah. I mean, right. I'm like, my head gets chopped off. I thought that was as far as you go, right?
But flashbacks, right, and ghost appearances, as I recall.
Yeah.
Am I right?
What a weird show that was. I never quite got it.
I understand. Phil, aren't you and Susan both in the He-Man Kevin Smith animated series that's coming up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Masters of the Universe Revelations.
And who are you playing?
Cool.
What
I'm
revelation?
I don't know what Phil's playing. I'm playing Sorceress.
I'm playing Hero.
Yes.
I was in that too.
Yes.
Kevin, I was going to ask. Yes. Okay. Very cool.
I can't remember who I did,
Cool.
but I did somebody.
How's Kevin Smith as an animation director?
Oh, he's wonderful. I love
he's-
working with him.
I mean, he's really, and I have to tell you, because I just did my last episode for the season the other day from my closet, and the most surreal thing so far in this COVID experience has been they want to do Zoom while you're recording, and so there is Kevin Smith with me in my closet as I'm recording Sorceress, and it was just you know what he is? He's a cheerleader. He loves actors, and he he knew me from the Justice League, and he's just such a big fan of what people do. Yeah. And he's just there cheering you on, and it just makes you feel like giddy.
Fun.
It's been a joy. It's been amazing.
He loves actors. He really
It's actually
does.
sort of full circle for me, because I did an animated show with Kevin before I did Justice League, actually.
Was that Clerks?
Yeah, I did. I guested on his Clerks animated series back in the 90s.
Wow.
The 90s, Mr. Bob?
Wow. God, I was in high school.
Yeah. I couldn't grow a beard in the 90s.
Until the cops came.
Andrea, did the whole cast get together for table reads?
For the most part,
yeah.
we kind of knew what we would set a day of the week for the show. It's okay, every Thursday morning we're going to do the show, and we try to make sure everybody was available for that. And I would determine that day based on what other steady gigs everybody had. So we go, okay, we can't do Thursday mornings because George has that, and we can't do this day because Susan has that. And then it was funny because as I pulled my paperwork for this, Kevin, you had to be in New York during this time because all three of your sessions were recorded at Pullman. Right. Clancy, we picked you up, so you must have been shooting something during this. Rosenbaum, we picked you up, all on the same day, but at different times. And then Kin Shriner was in this too. We had to pick up Kin because Kin was the Green Arrow. I cut him out of the script for today, but let him know we were thinking of him, Susan, okay? And CCH Pounder, of course, was in this too. Dana Delaney, Carl Lumley we had to pick up, so I'm guessing he was shooting. But so a lot of people weren't in the room at the same time, but we did still typically.
What year was this? What year was this?
Damn it, I don't know. I could tell you. Hold on, I got to move to it.
Was it 2000?
2000?
If it was unlimited, it was later than that.
Yeah, like 2004.
Pre-COVID.
Let me see if I can find
Pre-COVID.
Jeez.
By the way, Kevin Smith, I just interviewed Kevin on the podcast, and Kevin Conroy, but Kevin Smith was wonderful. I mean, you guys were good. And I had only met him once when I before I did Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was just so passionate. He loves comic books, and he's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, afterwards he emails me. He's like, "Anytime you want me as a guest," I'm like, "All right, how's every Friday?"
2004 we made this.
I did a movie with him. One of his movies, Yoga.
Wow.
Oh, was that with his daughter?
His daughter. And Johnny Depp's daughter. Yeah.
I had no
Wow.
idea you were in that.
You guys, I'm going to go grab my phone and text Carl to see if he's still trying. So
Yeah,
chat
I
amongst
emailed
yourselves
him as
for a
well.
moment.
Hey, by the way, what, you think it would work, or I don't know, if someone had a phone at least with his voice?
That's a great
that's a
idea.
thought.
Yeah, that's a
You guys are
great
all frozen.
idea.
Yeah.
Great idea, Michael.
We'll just put a little pause in there. Let's do that. Get his
That's
phone number.
excellent idea, guys. And in the meantime, Michael, you're a fellow podcaster, and I must tell you how much I enjoy your show. And I think you're doing a great job, man.
Great.
Thanks. It just started. I just interviewed everybody here except Clancy.
How'd that go, by the way?
No, we got to do that. We got to figure
Clancy,
that out.
you're an interesting guy. I got to get you on. But it was amazing because, obviously talking to a lot of people at the same time, but somehow it just really worked, and everybody was great and had a story, and we read something. It was a lot of fun. So that's going to come out in a couple of weeks, and it was a joy. I'm so glad we got everybody together. It was awesome.
That's excellent. That's fantastic.
And in fact, when I asked Carl to do this, Carl was like, well, when we had the conversation with Michael, it was just so perfect. And I said, I know. I said, I know. And what we do for Mainframe might not be perfect, but we'll all be there together.
Yeah.
But that's where he just had the best time.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, it was a great time. It was
It was
great.
great.
I
It
love
was just
talking to
lovely.
people. I never thought I'd ever interview people, and now I'm just
You're a natural,
in
Michael.
love with it.
You're
Andrea,
very
I
good
gotta
at
get
it.
you on.
There he
Very
is.
good at it.
Well,
Yeah, hopefully.
here, Carl.
Carl, talk to us, Carl.
There's
Carl, are you alive? Are you there? Can you talk?
We can see you.
Just
Hello?
these
We can see her.
incredible digital portraits. of
I would
Carl
still follow up
Lumley.
and
You're right.
ask him to suggest that he calls on his phone
He's frozen.
and not.
This beautiful.
Yeah, I would
Just
not-
call on the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Call on the phone.
Carl?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
I think it's better if someone calls Carl.
Yes.
And Carl, if you
Right.
can hear us, we're
Oh,
going to
there
call
he
you
is.
on the phone.
No, I hear it.
You hear him? You can hear
Yeah.
Carl?
Clearly.
Carl?
Yeah, but again, the fact that he's frozen suggests to me that it's going to still have issues, guys, and that's
Yeah.
why I think it might be
Get him on the
better
phone.
to get because I'd really love the table read to get in.
Yeah.
So, Carl, that's the plan. Is we're gonna someone can follow up and
It's Andrea. Hi, love. We can
she's
see
on
your
the flip
sweet
phone.
face. But freezing. Are you trying to use your phone to do this? He's on an iPad, John.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, iPad's slow. iPads are slow.
iPads are tough with this. They
I just
recommended
thought of something
laptops.
stupid. I was like, well, why don't we FaceTime him? But it's like internet.
well, that's literally, or just have his voice and everything would be fine
Yes. No. Yes.
Yeah, just put him on speaker,
Okay.
Andrea.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Let me just ask John. Hey, John.
Yes.
If we, is there some way if we move you out of this and bring Carl in? He's on an iPad.
We
So
can try it
would
one more
that-
time, but the fact that he's on an iPad, Andrea, I don't think it's going to matter.
It's the iPad is slow. It's a
I think it's the
processing
iPad that's slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
What we
Oh,
suggest
yes,
is
Carl,
that
love.
Carl be on his
Hold
phone
on,
and we
hold on,
use his
Carl. Hold
speaker.
on. You're talking to me. Then
Yeah,
he-
like right
oh,
now, if you just put him on speaker and kept him with you, Andrea, we
all
could
right.
just read
Okay,
the
hold on
scene.
1 second. Please stand by. Hold on. Carl, I'm going to put you on speakerphone. She says,
bet this
haha,
works.
audio. Speaker. Speak to me, Carl.
Yes, hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Perfect.
Yes, hello.
That's
Perfect.
great.
That's
That's
how
how we
Andrea,
do
put
it.
it close to the
That's how we're
speaker
going to do
then.
it.
Can you put it
Yeah,
close?
Get it close to the
Put your
speaker.
phone close to your microphone, Andrea.
This is so fitting.
That's right next to the speaker. You guys hearing him?
Yes.
I thought your speaker's on your mic on your. Okay.
You mean microphone, not speaker.
Yes, we can hear you, Carl.
Yes. Hold on.
Louder.
Here, you mean. Here, you meant on my headset.
There you go. Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's great,
Yeah,
Andrea. There you
Okay.
go. All right,
Awesome.
Andrea, I'm going to let you lead the table reading, and I'm going to turn off my
All
microphone.
right.
Will this
Oh, we just started getting echoey, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm okay now. You okay?
Yes.
Everybody hears me. Give me a thumbs up if you can all hear me.
Yep.
Thumbs up.
Hello?
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay,
Thumbs
I
up.
got Carl. Carl.
Yep.
Carl, you giving me a thumbs up?
Yes, I
All right.
My mic is muted, it says.
All right, my love. I'm so happy you joined us, Carl.
Okay, now
You're
I
so
can-
dear. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This whole scene begins with the Watchtower
Well,
weapon.
we're doing
Can you hear me? You all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Watchtower
Yes.
weapon has been fired. Nobody in the Justice League fired it. So the weapon has hit the earth, has hit Cadmus in, I believe we're in New Mexico. And Flash comes running into the room at line 1. Michael, you start us off.
What did we hit?
And John, you're next. Carl, do you have your script?
Cadmus headquarters.
That's it. Flash?
There's going to be some people who need our help down there. I'm taking a couple of rescue teams.
You know what? I want you to do one more of those, please, Michael. It's a little bit more urgent. Just a little bit more. There's going to be people in trouble. I'm going to help them. One
Ooh,
more
I
of
like
those,
this
Michael?
direction. This is good.
Oh, direction. Okay. Oh my
This is great.
So demanding.
There's gonna be some, are you ready? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Here we go.
There's going to be some people who need our help down there. I'm going to take a couple of rescue teams.
John? Can you hear?
But the teleporters are offline.
And the bay doors won't open without power. We'll think of something.
Good. Do one more, Michael. It's a little golly gee. It's just a little bit golly gee. Make it a little bit more urgent. A little bit more
I can
superhero.
barely hear.
Better acting, Michael.
You
Well,
know
I
that
can't even
acting that
hear
you
anything.
do? Could you do it better?
Yeah, hold on. And the bay
Here we go.
doors
Here we go.
And the bay doors won't open without power. We'll think
That's
of
it.
something.
So much better. So much better. So Jean's attention is drawn to the chirping of a red phone, and Flash says,
Whoa. Is that who I think it? Let me do that again. Whoa.
"Please do."
Is that who I think it is?
And Jean takes a deep breath, prepares himself, and says into the phone.
Mr. President,
And Flash ducks out, taking Supergirl's hands. We are now at the Eagle News Network. It's covering the accident. The reporter is live at the site. Maria, this is you.
Continuing coverage live from Covenant, New Mexico, where a huge explosion has caused tremors detected as far away as Japan.
Perfect.
Ooh, nice. Again,
There
keep
is still
going.
no official word on what occurred here. Eyewitness accounts vary widely.
There's devastation on the screen. She goes on.
Although many agree that in the instance before the explosion, they saw an energy beam strike from the sky.
Turn it off.
Superman says.
Turn it off.
Jean.
our sensors are still out. This is the only information available.
And Superman toggles his comm link and speaks to the rest of the team.
Diana, John, Shaira, meet me in the main conference room. Now. You too, John. On the phone.
Very good. On the phone. We're in the Watchtower main conference room. Superman, Jean, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman are all at the main table. Shaira is visibly apart from the rest of the group. And Batman and Flash are absent. Superman says,
What have we done?
Jean.
We haven't done anything. An outside force took control of the binary fusion generator. Whoever's behind that is responsible for the destruction of Cadmus, not us.
Tell that to all those people in New Mexico. They're terrified of us. So's the government.
Well, we can't let technical difficulties stop us from doing our job.
Thank you, Wonder Woman.
How can you protect people who think you don't have their best interests at heart?
And then she notices that Shaira is about to say something. She lowers her eyes in shame, and Wonder Woman catches it and kind of apologizes.
I didn't mean that as a shot at you, Shaira.
Look, a lot of people don't like the Green Lantern Corps when we first come to a planet. We just take our lumps and do the work. Over time, folks come to see what we're about.
Want to try that again without the little stumble?
A lot of people don't like the Green Lantern Corps when we first come to a planet. We just take our lumps and do the work. Over time, folks come to see what we're about.
Much better. Thank you. Jean?
And yet, over time, the Justice League's reputation has eroded.
Maybe so. But when it comes down to it, we aren't here to be liked. We're here to make the world a safer place.
How are we doing so far today?
Come on, man.
Really cool. Hey, you guys, we have an interesting situation here. We can actually overlap because we are in separate places. So I would love to hear Green Lantern
Everybody
interrupt
all at
Superman a little bit there. So Superman, read him in again from line 24, and Lantern, jump on it a little bit sooner, okay? Here we go. Again, Superman, 24.
How are we doing so far today?
Come on, man.
That's better, thank you. Wonder Woman.
I don't see the two goals as mutually exclusive. We should make a gesture of cooperation.
That's not a bad idea.
We could dismantle the binary fusion generator, at least until our innocence has been proven.
I say we permanently dismantle it. The thing is obviously not secure.
And John says,
I agree. Considering what happened during the Thanagarian invasion, Batman was right to have it installed, but under the circumstances, keeping it is much too great a risk.
I've seen it on 100 worlds. Space-based weapons always destabilize planetary politics.
Okay, getting rid of that thing is a start, but it's not going to be enough. We have to start working to regain their trust.
Superman rises to his feet and says,
Then there's only one thing to do.
we cut to Batman in his Batmobile responding to what he just heard. Kevin, we're at 34.
You want me to what?
There's a voice for you. We see the interior of a Javelin. Jean is piloting Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Shaira are the passengers. Batman and Flash, still in New Mexico, are visible on the monitor. Wonder Woman says at 35.
Turn yourself over into U.S. custody along with the rest of us.
Flash?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Meet us at the coordinates I'm sending first. Yeah, go ahead. Meet us at the coordinates I'm sending first. We should all go over together.
This is the single dumbest plan I've ever heard. You agree with this, Kent?
It was my idea.
Long beat, and then...
If you're feeling guilty, clear your own name. Don't stand on the sidelines waiting for somebody else to do it.
We've already voted. 5 in favor.
6.
You have to come with us, Bruce.
I don't have to do anything. I'm a part-timer, remember?
And he hangs up. Wonder Woman says,
Actually, he took it a lot better than I expected.
very good. We're in Belle Reve prison. The Javelin lands. The Justice League exits. Soldiers raise their energy rifles and point them at the League. Phil, will you be my soldier at line 47, please? Superman says at 46.
As promised, we're surrendering ourselves to your authority.
Where's Batman?
Running late. The Batmobile lost the wheel. The Joker got away.
And then the soldier just looks blankly at you and you say,
That's what I heard.
very good. We're in Luthor's lab. Luthor is welding something. He lifts his visor. We see his smiling face as he says at line 50, Clancy.
Now you're perfect.
And we see it's an Amazo android, but this one has his face.
A perfect, super powerful, immortal body. A suitable place for me to spend the rest of eternity.
He begins flicking switches.
Ironic. Years of plotting, hundreds of millions spent on Cadmus R&D projects, and none of it bore fruit.
He connects the leads from one of his consoles to the Amazo android.
No, it's a lowly employee of LexCorp, Dr. Ivo, creator of Amazo, who we have to thank for my impending godhood.
And we hear from off screen,
That was the last piece I needed.
Batman is stalking forward. Luthor says,
Got it all figured out, have you?
When you and Adam worked together to try and stop the first Amazo, he showed you the blueprints, and I suspect you have a photographic memory.
Luthor proudly taps his temple.
I'm too modest to boast.
The real purpose of Cadmus was to give you superpowers.
And to ruin Superman's reputation. Imagine how sweet it will be when I save the world from the menace of the Justice League. Now, when I kill Superman, they'll build statues in my honor.
Maybe next time.
Nice. Throw a batarang for me, Kevin. Just a huh. Thank you. Batarang. Thank you. That's it. And the batarang explodes in your fist, Clancy, but it doesn't really hurt. It's kind of like a match.
Right.
And he says,
Ow.
that's right. And then he goes on with more dialogue.
That was uncalled for.
Very good. Some time goes by. The Justice League destroys the Brainiac ship. We find out that Brainiac was behind all of this. Batman says at 63.
That was too easy.
Shaira.
Easy? I guess so, standing on the ground watching.
And from Superman's point of view, we scan the wreckage, and Superman says,
No, he's right. Brainiac isn't here. He suckered us.
we're at LexCorp. Flash returns from a super speed recon, zooming back to where the others have gathered. He says at 66, Michael.
No sign of Brainiac.
Green Lantern, Superman fly in.
My ring can't trace him either.
If we can't find where he is, we have to predict where he's going.
Okay, he's weakened and damaged. He'll need to repair himself.
He may just dump Luthor and find himself a new body.
No, he'll head right for the highest technology available.
And John says,
higher than LexCorp. Then he'll go to Starlab.
Sure. He's all nanotech now, right? What's the most advanced nanotech on the planet?
The Dark Heart. We destroyed it, but your people confiscated the debris.
and Waller, who was voiced by CCH Pounder, says, we've never been able to get any of it to work again. And Batman, will you button this scene for us at 78?
Are you willing to bet Brainiac didn't?
Good, try it again, one more time.
Are you willing to bet Brainiac can't?
There we go. Beautiful. And that's how we do that, my darling. Well done.
That was a really good rehearsal.
You know what? That was really fun. Like, just I know the
I thought Carl was really cool. The kind of effect on his voice was amazing.
Hearing Clancy, I haven't heard Clancy in a while.
I know.
Oh.
And Kevin, your voice just
and
cut
even hearing John, hearing Carl through the phone sounded like
amazing.
That's
I love
cool. That's so
I
cool.
love it.
Kind of fit.
It was meant to be. It was so good.
Excellent. Excellent.
Super fun.
John, did you?
Outstanding.
Yep.
Carl, while we have you on the phone, can I ask you? I wanted to ask you in particular because it really was a groundbreaking show of its time. Can you tell us anything about your time being the Mantis on Fox?
Carl, could you hear that question?
No.
Okay. John, ask it again.
Sure.
I actually can't
Sure.
hear anyone.
Okay.
Carl,
Yeah, okay, John,
if
you know
can
what?
Tell us
He
about
can't.
your time.
I've got him on speaker, but he's not hearing you because I've got you on a headset. I will ask him the
Okay,
question.
well, yeah. If you could
I want
telegraph
to
it
ask you
for
about
me,
the
Andrea.
Mantis
You know,
character that you played
I just
many years before we did Justice League, yeah?
No, actually, Mantis. Well, was that Mantis was
After or before?
94,
94. Oh, yeah, way before.
93, 94. Yeah.
And John, what was your question?
just in terms of, I mean, it was. I know it didn't last long, but it really was a groundbreaking
You're
show. I
talking-
mean, this is before Black Panther, and then one of the first television Black
you're talking
heroes.
about how it was one of the groundbreaking shows so early on, even though it didn't last. What was it, one season? How many seasons did it have?
It was one season.
One season.
But the document was really the pilot.
The document was what?
Really the pilot. The pilot. It was a 2-hour pilot.
Oh, I see.
For Fox, and that was the real statement of Mantis. And we went on and we did a series, but the series lost some of the elements that made the pilot so special.
Ah, interesting.
Cool, Rosamund.
Yeah, really.
Thank you, Michael Rosenbaum, for showing us the Justice League lineup there. Thank you for that, Michael, too. Thank you, Carl. Really nice.
It's not that great.
Go ahead, John, ask us the questions.
It's not that great.
Yeah, well, I was going to also ask Michael and Clancy. I look forward to this podcast because much as DC Comics is releasing 3 Jokers at the end of the month, 2 Luthers is going to be an interesting conversation.
Cool. You know,
Oh,
funny,
Luther.
we only worked once together, right? We did the Great Brain Robbery, Clancy and I, where we changed. So that was, and hearing Andrea directed, I wish somebody would have filmed that. That was incredible.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Like him delivering my lines and just trying to find out how it was very interesting.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
Well, you were
Hey,
always
give
so
me one
busy.
second, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going to check something. Carl, are you no longer connected at all through the site?
I don't know. I haven't checked since I started talking.
Check it out because then you can hear everybody speaking rather
Yeah,
than
and
having to-
maybe tell Carl instead to connect with his iPhone
Connect-
as opposed to the iPad.
Now you connect
because
with
it
your
might be a better
iPhone.
connection.
Your iPhone might be a better connection. John is saying your iPhone might be a better connection.
All right. I'll
Okay.
go get it.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Cool. He's gone.
There we go.
All right.
Understood.
All right.
No, that was great.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. George, great turn on Scandal. Really enjoyed the
Thank
stuff
you.
there.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was a fun 7 years. Fun 7 years, I'll tell you.
That's great. Here, I'm going to go to some questions here from the audience and stuff. Let's. Leanne wants to know. We'll go around the horn. Who are your personal heroes? I'll cue everyone. Maria, a personal hero?
Oh gosh, there's a lady, an older lady who passed away. She was a friend of mine, and boy, she was just the kind of person you'd go to her home to give her something, and you'd come back with 5 things in your hand, and she'd cook for you and offer you help and anything. She was just one of the most generous, and she loved people. She wasn't suspicious of people, and she was a great example to me and a mother figure, being that kind of selfless, giving people the benefit of the doubt. I think I have a little too much suspicious tendency in me to distrust, and she always think of her about loving people. She was a great example. Rosalba was her name.
Nice.
That's beautiful. Rosie?
Wow, Rosie. Call me Rosie.
Well, I see it in the parentheses, so I figured it was.
Oh, yeah. My grandfather was really my hero. He was, nobody's ever been more patient with me, maybe Andrea, but he had such amazing patience, was always willing to do things with, just a good man, good heart, loved me unconditionally. I felt that. He was just a great role model, and he passed away in November, so it was tough. But he had a great life, and I'm grateful for that. So he was definitely my hero.
Nice.
That's awesome. How about it, Phil?
Actually, it's interesting because it's sort of been on my mind. John Lewis, the congressman who recently passed away, and I had the fortune of getting to meet him, weirdly, at San Diego Comic-Con.
Wow! Wow! Oh, I saw the video of that. Yeah.
He because they had done a comic book called March about his life and his battle, and it won an Eisner Award the year I was presenting. And so not only did I get to meet him, I got to introduce him to my son.
That's
cool.
That's
cool.
Wow.
That's very cool. Awesome, man. Awesome.
Really cool. Fantastic. Susan?
We had a chance to think about this because on Michael's podcast, he asked us this question. And, I think, I can't think of one single person, but if I had to choose right now, I'd say people who get involved, who, talk the talk, but also when it comes down to it, they get really involved on the ground. People like Shannon Watts, who started a thing called Moms Demand to help gun violence in this country and throughout the world. And she has just started this revolution and has created so much change in that world. So people like that, who I think we get to play superheroes, and it's wonderful and it's so much fun, and we get interviewed. But there are so many people who are down there who just don't get any publicity for what they do every day to try to make the world a better place. And Shannon's one of those people that jumps out at me.
That's awesome.
Outstanding. Absolutely. Clancy.
Present company accepted. Probably my dad. He's still hanging in there.
That's great, man.
Cool.
That's wonderful. Cool. Smile on his face.
That's beautiful.
Tells me what's going on Turner Classic Movies whenever we talk.
Yeah. That's
I got him off Fox and on to Turner Classic Movies.
Oh,
so
well done. Well done, sir.
Fantastic. Good timing, too, with Summer Under the Stars. That's great.
Yeah, right.
Carl, you're out of stasis. This is great.
Yeah, guys, we're going to reread it now. We're going to reread the whole thing.
Carl, we're asking everybody who... Yeah, we're asking everybody for their personal heroes. That was a question from the audience. Who's your personal hero?
Well, right now I would say it's my father was always first, but James Baldwin right now, because that's who I think is a man for our time, and was a man for the time he lived in, and was almost prescient. And quite misunderstood, because what he was talking about was always about love, even though he was enlisted to talk about all sorts of other things, but at the root of it was always love, and that's what I think is most important. That's him.
Incredible documentary about him on Netflix. Really, really amazing. Absolutely. Did I forget anyone who hasn't spoken up yet? Andrea?
I didn't. My mother was a force of nature. She and Maria too. That's right. No, Maria spoke, didn't she? Anyway,
yes.
My mother was a force of nature. My mother had 8 kids, and then realized after 6 were born that there was no way that our household could survive with just one working parent. And so she ultimately became the highest executive in Suffolk County in New York State. Her next position, if she wanted to go any higher than that, would have had to be an elected official, and she did not want to be that deeply into politics. But she was awesome. I have seen Suffolk County police officers shrink at her, when she lets them have it. And it was the point. When she would point at them, which was all of us kids would go, "Oh, the poor officers, we know that point." But she was awesome. She passed away many years ago now, like 12 years ago, but she was crazy cool. She was really good. She was my hero.
That's amazing. A lot of people have been asking on the chat, and I'll ask for everybody. Susan, as was mentioned before by Andrea, not only did you spearhead this group, but you're leading the charge as far as a Justice League reunion, and it's something that I know that a lot of us fans really want to see. Any suggestions, all of you, in terms of who the people can contact and try to make this happen? We got a bit of one last year when you had the Justice League versus the Fatal Five, and several of you were part of that.
Yeah, that was a treat. Yeah, that was just Kevin and George and I, but that wasn't, it just gave us a taste of what we wanted more of. So, I can tell you not to tweet at Warner Brothers Entertainment, because we've been told that is not accepted and that they don't want the tweets. But people should just be outspoken about it, because I think that if the fans give voice to the desire, then eventually they'll make good on it. I hope, because I know the fans want it. The cast wants it. Andrea has said she would come out of retirement to direct it.
That's true.
Bruce Timm has said he would do it. But we just need the powers that be at Warner Brothers, whoever they may be, to greenlight it. We have a writer waiting in the wings, and truly we do. And everything's there, but the will from the studio.
The money, everything but the money.
Warner Brothers.
And to be honest, having actors and writers is really sort of like having paint and rubber. And it's like we've almost got a car built. No, you don't.
Right.
Really, what it is. As somebody who's been on shows that came back from the dead back before that was a thing.
Right.
All the studios care about is money.
That's right.
By the way,
if the Justice League episodes are getting bought on iTunes, they're going to say, "Oh, geez, we left a pile of cash on the table. Quick, go get it."
So is that what happened, Phil, in terms of Futurama being able to come back?
Yes. People bought the DVDs after the show was already off the air, and they're like, "Wait, people still like this, and are not just like it, but are willing to spend money on it."
Mm-hmm. Well, and interestingly too, I don't know how many more months DC Universe as a specific streaming channel has, and I know that things like DC Direct and the Daily Show have gone away, but the Justice League series wasn't on DC Universe, so I think that is the only way that people can vote, is if they want to purchase it from iTunes or rent it from iTunes.
Blu-ray and
Blu-ray, sure.
DVD.
Well, I came up with an idea, and Phil seemed to love it. We just have names like Crash and the Blue Lantern, and we just change the names around.
Yeah.
Get a great animator.
That's adorable.
There
I love that idea.
There are enough public domain heroes out there. Yeah, there's enough ciphers out there that it's easy to kind of make the Black Terror George's character, and there's a lot of street vigilantes that Kevin could play, and even some speedsters that Mike could play. Yeah.
Well, by the way, if they decided later on after things were going well, successful, and they sued us, how would they look? We've been trying to do this forever, you jerk.
So Phil, if you had a direct, people are asking. So what would your advice be in terms of what people should do to try to get buy the DVDs and
rent the episodes, buy the episodes,
merch, buy the merch.
Whatever puts money in their pocket, that gets their attention.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Good.
No, I
like the T-shirt, Phil. By the way. Thank you for wearing the lineup T-shirt.
And
really good.
And also, everybody, support the Hero Initiative. really a big reason why we're all here. Much like the fact that we can't enjoy live conventions in person, the Hero Initiative is really suffering because that's where they make a lot of their money. Like literally over 80% of their donations come from being at conventions and people literally putting money in the jar. They can't do that now, and that's one of the reasons why Mainframe exists. So if you would, it's heroinitiative.org, or if you're watching on the Mainframe Comic-Con page, there's a donate button right at the bottom there for Hero Initiative as well. So keep that in mind, if you would. So, a little public service message there.
Thank you.
And also,
Nice.
I wanted to ask you guys another key member of the production team of Justice League, Dwayne McDuffie, who I had a chance to talk to a few times and really appreciated his company. And man, I'll tell you, not only in animation, but also in comics, really one of the best writers that really understood the characters and stuff. Any memories of Dwayne, anybody?
He was so talented. He was such a wonderful guy to work with. He was really generous. I so admired him. It was so shocking when he died.
So shocking. So shocking.
Huh?
Truly,
And
truly.
So shocking.
he always struck me. He always struck me as somebody who just couldn't believe how fortunate he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be in the room and
He felt
writing
that.
these stuff.
Yeah.
You so
felt that.
enjoyed it so much. I mean, it just leapt off him, his enthusiasm for it.
I mean, he was
genre.
incredible. What was it? He had a PhD in physics, is it? Something like that. I mean, he really genuinely was
I remember that,
a
actually.
smart guy. And but the joy he got from working in the animated field with Static
Yeah.
Shock first,
Yeah,
and then
just
which
amazing.
was so cool, and then with the Justice League. And every time I speak to fans about him, they all have nothing but kind words to say about his engagement with them. He was really understanding of actors. He understood the creative process an actor goes through. He was not, a lot of producers and writers, they don't understand it. But he engaged himself and wanted to know what you guys did to get the performances that you did.
Yeah.
And he was one of those guys too that if you guys would change his words, because not intentionally, but just it rolled better off the tongue that way, he was absolutely fine with that. He was not precious with his words. They were
beautiful.
whatever works and makes it better for the whole project. So he was
But Clancy was right. It was
Hey guys,
Clancy
I gotta get going.
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta
sorry,
take the dog
Kevin.
to the vet, and then I have my charity online event that I'm hosting. But I love you guys all, and thanks for having me.
Michael,
Bye,
thank you so
Michael.
much for coming on.
Bye,
Absolutely.
Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, love.
Take care.
Glad I made it back.
Yeah.
See you, Michael.
Take
All my
care.
love.
Carl, are
Take
you
care.
going too? Are you
Yes,
leaving
I
too,
am.
Carl? All right, my
Okay.
love. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks
Good
for
on
being
Carl, love you,
on.
Carl.
Thank you.
Carl, thank
Talk
you.
soon.
Thank you very much, man.
I'm-
See you on Mars,
Is-
Carl.
Well, maybe there'll be room.
Yeah.
There might be room
Oh, you
now.
can stay if you want. If you want to stay, certainly,
Stay.
Carl.
I will
Because
say.
yeah, Michael had to go.
Okay.
Great.
We have another
No,
20
that's
minutes.
We
right,
ain't the
Kevin.
kind
I'm
of
sorry.
place
We
to
didn't
raise
mean
a
to.
kid, though.
We didn't mean to step on you while you were saying nice things about Dwayne McDuffie. Please.
You were saying about
what Clancy was saying about the fact that he seemed so genuinely amazed at what he was doing and that at what life had brought him. You know what I mean? He was so appreciative, and so that no ego got in the way when you were working with him. He was a truly generous guy. I loved working with him.
That's beautiful,
Just a
man.
gentle
Me too.
spirit. What a
He
gentle
was-
spirit, you know.
Truly.
And he really understood character. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, really, it was a hallmark of his comic work as well, and would just do these great, real like acting moments in these comics where the real like even across the street with his Marvel work, great Fantastic Four stuff between Reed Richards and Dr. Doom, and they had that kind of Luthor Superman kind of adversarial role, and more Silver Age where they really got under each other's skin because they really knew each other on a personal level. So yeah.
I think that's actually part of Dwayne's genius, like his actual like mental genius, like that ability to work on a number of levels at once. He could work on the character level. He could work on, creating milestone. I can create an entire world. But he also got the nerdy stuff. Because I remember we would be in session and there would be some deep cut Silver Age reference to some, minor Charlton character that got moved over to DC. And we'd be doing the read through and that would come up and I would look through the glass. I'm like, Dwayne, I know that was you. And he like,
Nice.
Well, we're on the
But
subject
isn't
of
that
milestones.
amazing about the process that we go through, the people we get to work with? Dwayne is one example, but like Shirley Walker and then the actors Mark Hamill and Maurice LaMarche. I mean, the people that we work with on a daily level, I'm always amazed at the level of talent. It's
like Maria Canales Barrera. I can't remember. She was really good. She was.
It's overwhelming. You know what I mean?
Well, and Andrea, truly, you really bring those performances out, and we literally saw it in this table read and everything. And I really, the sophistication of acting and the casting that went in and happened, starting with the animated series, but throughout the various DC animated television shows. I mean, that it really went from, and you know best, Andrea, because you were directing initially during that "Hey guys" sort of period. Oh, that's funny. I think she's trying to get in. I think she's frozen there. So I'll remove her there, and I'll bring her back here. There you are, Andrea. I was just saying, I don't know if you heard me, Andrea. Oh, no worries. We were giving it up to you because we were talking about the level of acting that evolved from when you started in animation to really the great acting that we got on all the DC shows and things like the Boondocks as well, for that matter.
Oh, nice. Thank you. You know, the thing is, when I started in animation, which would have been like back in 1979, 1980, I know it's terrifying. I was
Groovy, baby, groovy. Come on.
And the style of acting, of animation acting, you guys all know, you remember those cartoons. It was really broad. It was really cartoony. Even Super Friends was absurd. It was so silly. The voices were kind of like this. Everybody sort of sounded like they were auditioning to do promos. I mean, it was really, really weird.
Promos.
And then I thought, when Bruce Timm came to me to do the Batman series first, we talked about wanting it to be a different quality of acting. We weren't so concerned about people being able to come in and do 3 voices. That was lovely if they could do that, but it was more important that they be good actors. And so the very, foundation of the cast was based on good acting. And then from there, we did the occasional voices and stuff. So yes, I take great pride and I compliment all of you on the fact that you made me look good, because you were good actors first, and then you let me, those of you who needed to be taught, teach you how to translate that acting into animation acting, which is different because and those of you who had stage experience transitioned quicker. It was an easier transition because, stage acting requires just a little bit more energy. It's a little bit more boosted reality, but it is still reality. And as we wanted the cartoons to be too, even though there were fantasy elements, we wanted it to sound like it was based in reality. And that's what you all brought to it. And that's why you were cast, because you were strong actors. That really is why.
Well, Andrea is the best at giving direction for punches. That's what I'll say right now. She's great at teaching you how to give and receive punches.
I can do that.
Takes a skill. It's a very good skill you have.
Thank you very much. All of it, I can take credit for it.
It's so interesting because
oh, sorry, go ahead, Susan.
It's so interesting because as we started this, it's like knowing that Andrea was going to be, directing us for the read. There's just a certain I just can relax. Because she's
thank
here
you for that.
Yeah. And
that's lovely.
It's just unless you've been directed by her, and unless you know what that is to be in the room with her, you can't appreciate what her presence means to all of us, to all the actors. And if every show she worked on, if all the people were here, they would say the exact same thing. She has the reputation she has because she's the best.
Well, no,
it's
for that.
It's not just her impact on us.
Right.
It's her impact on animation as a whole. Because basically, if you think about it, Batman the Animated Series was Streetcar Named Desire. Kevin was Brando.
Yes.
And Andrea was Elia Kazan. And they
Elia Kazan, that's fantastic.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, Kevin. What would you do for your sound check, Kevin?
That's right.
Andrea.
It's my favorite. I love it so.
Andrea,
but I you know what, you guys? I fear that the day of the ensemble record is over. Do you fear that that's
really?
happened? Well,
Why?
nobody's recording together. Well, because nobody can get into a room together. You can't all get into a recording
Well,
studio.
now
You all
certainly
spit on
COVID.
each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
And I
Maybe.
fear that everybody's going to get comfortable in their home studios, and that it's going to become much more of the norm rather than the ensemble record.
Well, then it'll
In
be
your own little box
rediscovered.
like this.
Yeah,
It'll be
once,
a box like
once
this.
it's all over, it'll be rediscovered, and somebody will say,
It'll be
"Wow,
right.
I can't believe I invented this." You know,
Right.
Yeah.
I can't believe
some
you
young
did that.
clerk will come in.
Right.
But
Andrea
even
had about bringing us together and being so aware about how the foundation of good acting is relationship and wanting
Yeah.
it to grounded and real.
Yeah.
And then if you have wonderful words to say and Andrea's concentration on the relationship. I mean, I think that's why it was so touching, and so many people were not just entertained, but really moved by the show. I get stopped all the time about what a difference, how different it was, how deep, how cinematic, how they just love the show. And I'm just so happy that you picked me, because I get to be part of something that's so special and lasting. It's been just such a
truly.
wonderful thing. And when we were reading, it felt like we were just right back 20 years ago, right there. And it was
Isn't that great?
Yeah, super
I
fun.
love that. You know
Super
what's really
fun.
cool too, Maria, is your story arc and yours and Phil's story arc together was a major emotional arc in the show, as was Carl's. Remember, Carl did an episode. It was a Christmas episode where he goes back and tries to see his family or something like that. Do you remember? Anyhow, it was a very emotional. But my point is, I love the emotional aspect. It's perfectly fine. I have no problem directing all that stuff. That I can do that. I can tell you to go faster because you're running. I can tell you to do the line again because you're panting. But what I really wanted to get into is what makes this character feel, and how do we get in there? How do we, the audience, get to feel what that character's feeling? Carl, do you remember what I'm talking about? The episode where I think you end up singing a Christmas carol in Martian. Isn't this true, Carl?
Yes, I
Was
do
it
remember.
Comfort and Joy?
Yes.
Yes, that's it. Comfort and Joy. That was the name.
Yeah,
of it. And
that's
it was
right.
so emotional and so wonderful. And I remember thinking, I'm going to cry in this recording session. I thought, you know what? If I cry in the recording session, I bet fans will cry when they watch this, and that's good. They should. They should
For
feel
a lot of
so
people,
emotional.
that's White Christmas. For a lot of people, that's
Sure.
White Christmas. They watch it every
Right.
year around the
Right.
holidays.
Yeah.
Right.
Reaching back to the Batman series, Andrea, Michael Ansara when he played Mr. Freeze
Oh,
in Heart of Ice,
The
and
best.
that's
what a
such an
heartbreaking
emotional
performance.
Yeah,
Truly,
Heartbreaking.
truly. And you know, when we first recorded that, and I thought Michael Ansara was excellent casting. I was particularly proud of getting him, for him to say yes. And he came in and recorded with the cast in an ensemble record, and you can feel it from Bruce Timm. It's just not working. The energy coming from behind me, because he would sit behind me, he wasn't liking it. And so I just said to Bruce, let's just keep Michael after the cast, release all the rest of the cast, get all their pickups, and then we'll work with him alone. So he's not embarrassed working in front of a bunch of people who have a lot of experience already. He's kind of new to this. Let's play. And so he stayed, and with a handful of notes, he made the slightest adjustment to make that voice sound not robotic, not flat, not monotone, but cold. And at the same time he made that voice sound cold, he made it sound extremely emotional in that episode that you guys are referring to. So he was the right guy. We just had to give him the right words to get. And I was still learning from Bruce what the series was. So I've still been directing a little too broad, a little too cartoony. And God, we had fabulous people, didn't we? These remarkable
Sub-Zero.
actors.
His performance
Really
in
did.
Sub-Zero
Oh, yes.
was incredible.
Yes. And didn't I think Mask of the Phantasm is just coming out again too as a Batman?
That's right.
Something that's coming out.
Yeah.
I think Netflix has it now or something. But they
Stacey
never die.
Keach.
These shows, you guys, they keep coming around. Suddenly, something that I did forever ago, Avatar: The Last Airbender, I did for Nickelodeon, suddenly came out. It's huge on Netflix.
Yes.
They never die. The work will always come back.
My daughters love Avatar, Andrea.
It was a great series, wasn't it? How old are
They
your
do.
daughters
Oh
now,
my! Yeah, my
Maria?
kids love Avatar.
16 and 15. Wait, no. 17, she just turned it, and 15. Isn't that crazy?
I went to their baby showers. I was
pregnant during the
time
show.
has gone. Right. George said to you, I'll never forget this in a recording session. He kind of quietly went over and said, "Are you pregnant?" And he said, "What the hell?" He said, "I'm the father of multiple children. I can tell." You're pregnant,
No.
and you weren't showing it all yet. Like, what
It's your
the hell?
superpower.
It was. It
And
was
the
another
glow,
superpower.
man.
X-ray
She has the
vision.
glow.
My favorite thing is
better than an echocardiogram or a sonogram. Yeah.
one of my best friends when Justice League debuted and it would be on prime time on Cartoon Network. He and I were watching, and I told him like the show's amazing. And after about 2 or 3 episodes, my friend's wife walks in. And she's like, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "Listen, I know it's a cartoon, but you don't understand the writing, the acting. This is like the greatest superhero show ever."
yeah.
And she sat down and she's like, "Oh, okay." And she got it, but it really was terrific. And it's like, truly, that's the thing. I mean, there's a generation of kids that grew up on your guys' work, but truly, as an older viewer and stuff, I mean, I was already an adult, and I mean, yeah, we were watching right along. And in fact, I know that might have been one of the frustrations and why, thankfully, it was able to come back as Justice League Unlimited, because I know it was aimed towards this Y7 audience, but like the best cartoons, you didn't talk down to kids as we were describing the acting and stuff.
They never talked down to kids.
It was a smart show.
Yeah.
It was smart.
It was always multi-layered, And I think the biggest audience was usually college age, wasn't it?
A lot.
I believe it.
A lot. Absolutely.
I totally believe it. Another great actor, Ra's al Ghul, David Warner.
So
Back in
lucky
the
to
day.
have David come and play with
Detective.
us. I just watched. What's the Omen? I had forgotten about him with the plane of glass.
Oh, was that? Was that?
Yeah.
How many times David Warner has been killed that way on Titanic? We don't even really know how he gets his comeuppance in Titanic, but he's bloody as the ship breaks into 2 parts. But he was so wonderful on this series as Ra's al Ghul. And then we had Olivia Hussey in the last seasons as Talia al Ghul. So, Juliet from Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet played Talia al Ghul, which was just fantastic. But these quality caliber actors that came into play and were often so nervous. I mean, they would come and stand next to Kevin Conroy, and you could see them visibly shaking. And Kevin would just be so generous and kind to them and let them know, "Don't worry, Andrea's going to tell you everything you need to know." And I always committed to everybody who came to work with us, I will never let your voice go out sounding bad. I will make sure that we stay here until we're all happy with what's coming up, because you don't ever want someone to come in and guest and then leave saying, "I hope no one ever sees that episode because my acting was dreadful." So I'm happy to stay a little bit longer to get it. I hired them because I think they can do it. I believe I have a good sense of what they can do. And sometimes it would happen with you guys too. Even, there'd be a second role we'd give you and we'd say, "Clancy, can you stay after school? We have to change that voice a little bit more so it's not so close to something else you've done." Or, "Kevin, can you stay? This guy's fine, but we have to make him sound." So, and we would do that all the time. And only once or twice were we never able to get what we needed.
Right.
There were 2 instances I can remember. One was, and I think several of you were on this session.
Kevin.
The line was, "You go after those 2, Wilkes," talking to a character named Wilkes. "You go after those 2, Wilkes." It was a police officer saying this. And I believe we had over 50 takes in the initial record and probably 30 takes in ADR. And it almost always came out, "You go after those 2, Wilkes. You go after those 2, Wilkes." I mean, it never, ever.
She couldn't get it, yeah.
Right. She couldn't get it, bless her heart. And then the line that actually had to be cut, the whole scene had to be cut because we couldn't make it work, was an actor who had to say, "Yes, yes. Phil, I know you were there." That's all he had to say. "Yes, yes. Frustrated, annoyed, tired, yes." We recorded, I'm not kidding, 70 different yeses and tried splicing them together to get yes, yes. We'd get yes, 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 yes. I mean,
So funny.
every other reading, but yes, yes. We couldn't get it. We do, and Phil, I looked at Phil and just went, he's beat me. This actor has beat me. I cannot get him to say it right. I think I even had I went around the room and I had all the actors do it. Phil, you go, "Yes, yes." Phil would do it. "Maria, you do it. Yes, yes." You would do it. Thinking that maybe if everybody else did it and then it came to this guy, he would just echo them. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. But those are the only 2 times I remember not getting it.
You did everything. It was basically a master class on directing. She did every conceivable. It's like, Here's
every
backstory.
trick.
Here's echoing.
Yep.
Here's
Yep.
you know.
Echo me exactly.
That's
Do
the- I don't think I was there that
exactly
day.
what
I wasn't
I'm
there
doing.
for that.
It was
No, me
so
neither.
nasty. It was so
It
nasty.
was
But Phil
painful.
was there. We told the stories before.
Yeah.
Phil, can I get I know people have said it on the chat. Can we get you to do a quick back and forth between young Static Shock and old Static Shock?
Oh, what?
You know what I mean? Can you do the young voice and immediately answer back in the old voice of Static when we saw him in the future and we saw Static as an old man?
I don't know, because actually that was a real challenge because we had been doing Justice League and we'd been doing Static.
You know, we'd already established the voice of Virgil.
And of course, we already established the voice of John Stewart. It's like, all right, now it's Virgil at 55. I'm like, okay. What does he sound? Well, he can't sound like this. You know that.
What did we do?
Okay. Well, if this is you when you're 14, well, not everybody gets a deep voice as they get older. Some people just get more mature, you know?
There you go.
Of course,
Yeah.
you know, you
There you
get to, you know, the age that I am now, where there's just, you're the same person, but there's just a little more texture.
There you
Good,
go.
Phil.
You got
That's
there.
beautiful. Really nicely done.
man.
That was beautiful, man. Absolutely.
Really good.
And Susan and Kevin, my God, the veiled romance of Wonder Woman and Batman that people still make allusions to.
Veiled romance.
Not so
I
veiled.
love
Not
that.
so veiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I like to tease the fans and tease Kevin with the Wonder Bat stuff because I think it just was such a wonderful dimension to the show. I loved it. I loved it. I loved the flirty, and he sang for me, and I had his number, and he had my number. I mean, this little piggy I get asked about more than any other show written by the great Paul Dini.
Yeah.
And you know, that was just all those little moments. People have put videos together of all the moments between Wonder Woman and Batman and then put them to very romantic pieces of music.
Oh, that's
And
great.
it's so fun to watch them, and people love it. And I mean, Kevin and I think our voices really do have a special something, a je ne sais quoi.
Oh.
Je ne sais quoi. I would agree. I would agree.
So did they
Fair enough.
ship your
Fair
name
enough.
Wonder Bat or Bruana?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Bruana.
Wonder
Wonder
Guana?
Wonder Bat.
I like them
Wonder
both.
Bat. Wonder Bat.
No, that's
Wonder
great.
Bat.
And
good.
Carl and Clancy, Kevin as well, and Phil certainly with John Stewart, but really that you guys have wonderful. I mean, I wish you guys were born a couple decades earlier. And we could have gotten a few radio dramas out of you because I mean we get a lot of it through thank God through animation, but really all of
Stand
you.
by. I mean, they're coming back, so you know.
Well, I know
stand by.
Susan was working with the new Suspense program that they put together, which I think is
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do a lot of radio drama. I love it. I mean, it also lets you play these very broad characters, which is so much fun.
How
you know,
fun.
and here she comes. You know, it's just the best. I can't get enough of that stuff. I can't get enough of it. I
No,
love
but
it.
John, what you said about those voices, I mean, I don't know, Andrea, was that you or was that Bruce? Because there was always a lot of bass in that room. I remember there was one session where there was Kevin and Carl and Clancy, and I think maybe William Smith.
Yeah.
But basically, there was so much bass in the room. I don't think they put the mics. They just put mics on the floor because you were just hearing it through your feet.
I love that. I did like that. You're absolutely right,
Yeah.
Phil. I think it was combined. I think it was both Bruce and I. We both loved that. And we loved the fact that we were able to find guys with that deep, menacing, powerful voice, but who sounded completely different from each other. Carl sounds nothing like Kevin. Clancy sounds nothing like, so many other people. And that's what was so cool is that you could have all those guys talking to each other and not go, no, wait, whose voice was that? Was that everybody's voice was distinct? Yeah.
Guys, I hate to do this, but we got to wrap up because we got another panel
Let's
coming
do it.
up soon.
All right.
We're filling up the room as we are, so we're filled to capacity.
I just want to give a huge thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, John, to Susan for putting this whole thing together. She has been
Absolutely.
such a ray of sunshine this entire time. Always
Great.
calm with all of our craziness. She has just been so awesome. And thank you all for being here. John, I'll go ahead and let you say goodbye,
bet.
everybody. But
No, I appreciate it, Chuck.
Thank you, John.
Guys, seriously,
Thank you so much for putting this together.
Thank you very much,
and I hope we have a chance to do individual one-on-ones as I've done with Phil and Susan in the past. It'd be great too. I'm not going to pressure you, but truly, it's an honor being able to speak to all of you, and thank you for really 2 decades of incredible love of what you put on screen and through your acting and everything. It means a lot, and I speak for the fans when I say it. So thank you greatly.
Thank
Buy
you.
the DVDs.
Thank you.
Buy the DVDs.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Andrea.
Stay
Take care,
safe.
everybody.
George,
All right.
who's your hero?
Take
George?
care, everyone. Bye bye.
Who's my hero?
Amazing. Amazing. There. Okay.
It's